What's going on, guys? Mark from Union Martial Arts, and this is your Technique Tuesday. So last week and the week before that, we've been doing a lot of Kali drills with the stick, sometimes with a partner, sometimes without. If you guys didn't get a chance to watch that, make sure you click the link up here and it'll guide you right to it. This week we're going to switch it up, still in the FMA zone, but we're going to be doing the Nunchuck, but specifically in the Filipino martial arts system, it's called the tabak toyok. So we're just going to go over a quick Sinawali drill, just like we did with the Kali stick, and we're going to show you a little bit of how it changes, how it's similar, and how you can add your own little flair. So be sure to watch it all the way to the end, and let's get training. Alright guys, so today we're going over one of the most famous weapons to ever grace the martial arts world, thanks to a man named Bruce Lee. You might know it as the Nunchuck, but it was actually introduced to him through an FMA system by his good friend and student, Danny Nosano. So in our terminology, this is called the tabak toyok. So the grip that you're going to be using for today, rather than holding it a little lower, you're going to hold it closer to the center near the ball and chain, and hold it in kind of a slingshot motion. Okay? Without getting too complicated, this versus this, let's get right into the drill. Alright guys, so getting into the Sinawali, we're going to break it down step by step. So again, when we do a Sinawali, we're going to establish the first point, which is the X pattern. So very simple, if you imagine a box in front of you, you're going to strike from the top corner to the bottom corner, also known as the temple, down to the hip, all the way up on the other side, other temple, down to the other hip. Okay, so holding it in our slingshot position here, we're going to go from top down, this is our angle 1, angle 2, flow it together for the X. Okay, from side position here, we set ourselves up in our stance, and we go down, 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 and down. You just want to get a nice rhythm before you add on anything else. Make sure you understand this is more of an untamed weapon, so you got to have a little bit more control and a little bit more poise than per se using a stick or a dagger. Alright, so adding in step number 2 now, which would be an Arco strike in a single stick Sinawali. For the tabak toyok Sinawali that I'm about to teach you, it's just going to be a backhand twirl. And basically what's happening here is it's going to roll on the back of your hand and loop around so that you end up in a reverse grip. Okay, now this move might be a little bit tricky for beginners. Basically all you want to do is get a little bit of momentum, let it roll, and catch. Okay, so the back of your hand is rolling inside the chain to end up on the opposite end of the tabak toyok. Okay, so when I get that going, I'm in reverse grip, and it'll lead into my X pattern of reverse grip. Alright, so for your third and final step, once you establish the X pattern, you get the backhand twirl and the forehand twirl. Very simple, you're just going to repeat that forehand twirl just to loop it back together. Now you can do it once, twice, 10 times, whatever you feel comfortable with, just to get a nice fluid motion from start to finish and back to the beginning. So from a side view here, we start in a slingshot stance. We start off with an X pattern, grab some momentum, backhand twirl, reverse grip, going into a regular grip, and here we can twirl as many times as we need to. Just remember that as you're flowing, you want it to be as natural as possible. So if you're going to repeat the X pattern a couple times, do a couple more twirls. That's really up to you. It's your own movement, it's your own motion, it's your creativity that's coming out. So this is just a standard way to do it, but again, just as any other weapon, since you are flowing, you want it to be very, very natural. Alright, so once we piece it all together, we're going to have a nice Sinawali that's flowing, and it's just going to go right off the top of our heads. So again, add in your own little flares. If you get it all compact together, get it nice and fluid, it should look a little something like this. Start from our slingshot position and just flow away. So since you made it all the way to the end of the video, I'm going to show you a little bit of flair you can add to your Sinawali. Just take your time and make sure you get the beginning parts down first before you start mixing it up and adding some new moves. So just like we ended the last Kali video with a trapilon, well guess what? It's the system, so we get to add it in here too. So since we are in a slingshot position here, to start off my trapilon, I'm going to actually kind of flick it. So I kind of get that whipping motion, and it's going to be very similar to the feeling of holding a stick. So all I'm going to do is, from a side position here, I start my slingshot, I'm going to whip it out, circle around, and smack. Okay? So by me doing this, I'm going to end up in a closed position, which is going to allow me to go into the backhand twirl. Okay? And again, you can add as many twirls in between or beginning or after as you want. It is your own flow. So when we piece it all together, it should look a little something like this with the trapilon. Slingshot position here, flick around, twirl, and into our Sinawali. Alright guys, so that's your Technique Tuesday for this week, featuring the most iconic weapon to ever grace the martial arts world. If you guys like the video, make sure you give us a thumbs up. Comment below if you want to see any other weapon, or if you want a little bit more detail in the twirl. I know it's a little bit more complicated. Let us know below. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced student, remember, take your time, especially with this weapon. It is more of the untamed side, so sometimes you're going to get a little bit of bumps and bruises because it's not going to act the way you want it to. But thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys next time.